So there I was, little guy. I had my switch axe on the back. I was heading for the scared, how do you say it? The super Yanguran, or the weird bird. And then suddenly I was attacked by a simp.
Sniper Monkey.
Pidgey Hunts. Welcome back to another Monster Hunter World Journal, fellow hunters. I finally have a name for our Downy Crake. I'm calling him Crikey. I like it. So let's recap the journal. I didn't think that there would be a lot to talk about with a single monster down. By the way, our list is now down to 11. But I tried a new weapon. I went from switch axe to range, and I just spent an hour with it. And I was like, this is a very different game. This is all... so many new rules. I was blown away. So after my little encounter with the ancient Leshen, aka the ancient BS, I decided I didn't want to be anywhere near that thing. And I was like, I'm gonna learn the way of the sticky ammo, because I've seen in my multiplayer some people that they just run around and then you see like basically the monster light up and then boom boom boom. And I was like, I want to do that to the Leshen. So I heard that the Furious Rajang light bowgun was a good candidate for where I was. I was like, all right, I got all these Furious Rajang parts that I don't know what to do with. Let's craft ourselves a gun and see what we can do with it. So I went into training and I was like, all right, you aim, you shoot. What else can you do with it? And everyone's like, it's a gun. That's all there is to it. It's all about managing your ammo after that. I was like, no. Like, I played the bow for a bit. There was the dodging, there was like the shooting the big ammo, and there was the reload. And they're like, nope, you just shoot. And if you double dodge quickly after your shot, you can recharge. So the mechanics of the bowgun were very quick to grasp. But my God, the item management of this thing was a whole different beast. So first of all, there's like several to a dozen different types of ammo, which I played with. And I was like, all right, I know what I want. I got my spread ammo, I got my sticky ammo, and I got my thunder ammo just to like see what that does. And I got my trank ammo that I could do. So then I go in there like, no, not all guns use all of the, not all guns are compatible with all ammo. And I was just like, oh, what? And I'm like, how do you know what's compatible? Like, where's in the menu? And like, go to the shop and buy one of each. And the one with an X on it means you can't use it. I was like, are you serious? That is the most inefficient way to know if your ammo is compatible. I have to go buy one from each shop and like try it in the gun and being like, nope. And finally I find what I want. I buy it. So whatever. I get the ammo I need, but then I realize there's levels to the ammo. So we get like sticky 1, sticky 2, sticky 3. You can buy sticky 1. I think you can buy sticky 2, but then you can only craft sticky 3. So then we have to build a radial menu wheel where we have sticky 1, but then we also have craft sticky 3. But then to craft sticky 3, you need gunpowder and like fire herbs, which now we have to craft that. And then they're like, yeah, you know that farm you've been ignoring for like who knows how long? You got to use the farm to make the crafting materials to put in your wheel to get the sticky thing, because you're gonna run out of ammo as you shoot things. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I'm like starting to wrap my head around, okay, I know the mechanics. I'm starting to know like the important things. And then they're like, oh, you got to change all of your skills. This is how chat sounds to me sometimes. You got to change all of your skills to get like Bombardier and all this. And I'm just like, I literally have just spent almost an hour at this point playing in the training ground, figuring out the whole other like half of the items that I've been ignoring in this game. And now you're telling me I have to relearn and rejig not just my decorations, but build new armor and all that. And I get it. I understand you have to optimize like all of that for the build of weapon. I understand that the weapon is very important. But for a guy who just wanted to try a weapon, I'm like, look, I'm not trying to min-max. I just want to go into a fight and see what happens. So they're like, all right, forget it. Forget the decorations. I think we can put some Bombardier on there. And I think that was it. It's like, okay, I've been in training for an hour. Let me just go shoot something to see if I even like this. So we went after our good old friend, the Great Jagras, in high rank, and it was pretty good. I don't think I might have got hit like a little bit, but for the most part, I was doing some good damage. I was learning that spread is when you're up close. I was managing all right. Thanks for everyone who like set up my radial menus and all that. And next thing I know, he died in the most anticlimactic way ever, which is you shoot him. Like, the gun is an anticlimactic weapon. You end the fight the same way as you open it, by going pew pew. And it's really unsatisfying, and I'm totally fine with that because I'm just looking to cheese my way through monsters I hate with this. But then people are like, okay, now you have to go for like a higher, like a more difficult monster. I was like, I just spent like an hour just trying to absorb the maintenance that is required for this weapon. You know what maintenance I need for the switch axe? It goes whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's all you got to do. You just got to keep it sharp. But here, you got so much stuff to manage. I'm just like, we're going to put that on the shelf for now. And I think I will gradually learn when I need a break or when I need to change something up. We're going to keep coming back to the light bowgun. And then there's the heavy bowgun, which I don't even know what that does differently. And we're going to dip our toe in it a little bit. But I think I was doing better with the light bowgun than with the bow. But that's not saying much. Then we did a little bit of grinding. We unlocked the farm's 4th slot after doing a few quests that were not done. So that was fun. I always love unlocking things, even though I'm like in the end game, love unlocking things. In fact, when the stream ended, I was on a caffeine rush and I didn't want to go to bed. So I'm like, but I didn't want to hunt monsters. Like I don't want to sweat and like get all the adrenaline. So I'm like, let's go fill out the canteen. I have 33 ingredients that I'm missing. And we just went off on a nice little adventure. And some people in the chat were guiding me of like, oh, you can find some beer here. You can find some veggies here. And we found, I think, 7 ingredients in total. So now I have 26 mystery items missing from my cantina that I am slowly stocking up and filling with. And I will have my, full cantina soon. So that was fun. Through all of this, eventually my master rank went to 69, which triggered the quests against the Glavnus and the Brachydios. And I have to say, I think I'm in the end game of both Monster Hunters, and I can safely say I enjoy Monster Hunter World. There, I said it. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I said it. That's my preference. Because the feel of the weapon, and this is the key reason I like it more, outside of the whole list of other things. The way that the switch axe lands on the monster, like it just feels heavier. And this is so dumb because my very first video I was like, oh, these weapons are so sluggish and feel heavy, but it feels heavy. And when it lands, it's satisfying. When you slap the head, like you can feel your power. In Rise, I'm like slapping, and then I'm like, what happened to my health? Where'd half my health go? You don't feel the punches. You don't feel the punches getting hit, and you don't feel the punches hitting you. In World, you just feel that contact so much more, and it is so much more satisfying. It's also very much more frustrating when you're getting hit. So like, I don't know what happened yesterday. I think a little bit of the caffeine with like just the endorphins. I went into this level 69 quest with the Glavnus and the Brachydios, and it was like I was on the moon. I was singing with my switch axe, and it was just fun. And at one point, the chat was actually asking me to calm down because they had bet points that I would not cart, and I was getting a little bit too cocky. And we all know when I get cocky, I end up carting. Cocky J means carton. So I toned it down, but I was having so much fun. Like these were like big monsters that I was just able to dodge. And like compared to the monkeys, they were so slow. It was like time stood still. It's like I was in ultra instinct mode and I could just see the monster and I'm just like, you're going to get sliced here, you're going to slice here, or you're going to come at me here. See the punch. It felt so cool. I'm probably coming across as very dramatic, but that's what it felt like. It just felt, it did not feel like a sluggish game at all. It is crazy how you level up as a player. I know we all say this, but like, man, imagine feeling that on the monkey. Whoa, that's gonna be so cool. So I did that, and finally we've unlocked the next tier of monsters. I'm now at level 71 master rank. I was going to raise the guiding lands, and I realized they don't have cinematics. Everybody talked me out of it. There's 0 point for you to grind the guiding lands if your goal is just to kill them. If you're gonna kill them, just do them in event. And I was like, all right, there's no like cutscenes, there's no like build up, there's not like nothing, there's no difference. So I'm like, okay. So I went into the event quest for the scarred Yangaruga, and I did like the original Yangaruga. So I went into this with like, well, I like the original. How is this going to be? And I've only hunted it once on my own, so I was a little rusty. You know, I've been fighting the monkey a lot. Of course, when I found it after like 10 minutes of looking for it, stupid Rajang shows his face. He's like, hey, remember me? You're going to fight me? I'm like, no, throw poo at you. Go away. Leave me alone. It's time for new targets. Just like, get out of my space, man. He almost carded me too. And then off we go against, this thing was like a bird on steroids. Like I thought I knew how birds move. And I forget, I remember that Jan Garuga is a crossbreed of two weird things. And I forget if it was a Rathian and a Kulu, but there's a lot of parts where I'm like, that's a Rathian move. That's a Kulu move. Did these two get freaky? Because this is a weird bird. I was getting tossed a lot, and it was really tough to like position myself, because probably I was on my high of being cocky with the other monsters, but it was moving very fast and bombarding everything, and I had to like calm it down, step back, and just be like, all right, what's going on? Like when it like flies would do bombs, it had a very new pattern. I don't think I carded, which is a miracle considering how much I was getting tossed around, but otherwise it was a really fun fight. I think I was really terrified after doing Furious Rajang and Raging Brachydios. Like, these guys knocked the fight out of me. And that same night, I went against, I saw what Alatreon was all about. So everything scares me now in endgame. But honestly, like, everything I fought this week was comfortable, was fun. I was enjoying it. It was like the Jan Garuga was a perfect challenge where I didn't feel like it was easy. I was definitely like up and stressed. And then I won, and it felt great. What else was on that level? I think there was something else. Oh, there was a Znonogur, but we didn't bump into him. Music was solid. I was really sad that there was no armor for it. I was like, oh, where's the armor? And apparently there's no armor because it's just basically a tempered thing, a tempered monster. So anyways, scratch one more off the list. We have 11 left. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with the Brute Tigrex and the other two, like if it's going to be a comfortable challenge. I've heard things. So my expectations are still like cautious about going this, but once we knock those three down, it just keeps like I feel like the bar just keeps rising in terms of difficulty. I was just like, what am I going to do? These black dragons, they're coming at me. And I'm just like, I'm running out of things to do to procrastinate going for them. So I'm really worried about how I'm going to do this. Cause I'm hearing I'm going to be like streaming against these black dragons for potentially a month before I beat them. So it sounds really depressing going after it. The last thing I did, or not the last thing, but the last thing to talk about is the Monster Hunter movie quest. I finally went back, did the second one. It was a massive Rathalos. I was really hoping to kill it because I'm like, oh, here's my Gold Crown Rathalos. But you don't kill it. You just kind of shoo it away. Again, it's a movie quest. It really, the only good thing about this, and I'm not even an original Monster Hunter fan, it has really cool music that people say it's from the first game. I just like the retro like sound of it. I was like, okay, I like the fact that I got this music and got some poses to play with and all that. So check that off the list. More cosmetics won. More progress has been made. Now we are, I think the next goal for me is really to get to level 100 master rank. Some people have suggested to do everything and finish Fatalis, like let Fatalis be the final thing. So that means potentially doing Arc-Tempered Valkana before Fatalis. I don't know if that's crazy. I would love to like wrap up this whole journey by finishing with Fatalis, but people say you do Arc-Tempered Valkana after Fatalis. So I'm not sure what happens there. Lots of stress to happen, lots of challenges to come, but we're getting there. I say I'm almost at the end, but it's like the last 5% that's going to be probably the hardest 5%. So join me next week as we go after the Brute Tigrex, the Gold Rathian, I think, and the Silver Rathalos. It's going to be a busy night. I'll see you then, and otherwise, until next time, keep it classy.